everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Megan Soderholm. I am the librarian over at the Lackawanna Public Library, and I'm coming to you via live from my home kitchen for a special edition of our cooking demo program featuring the amazing recipe of cream of mushroom soup. So as you can see right now, I have some onions sauteing along with some garlic. And you want to get them a little bit of translucent, get it in there, very good. Get a little bit translucent, so now they're perfect. Now, the most important ingredient I'll add is the mushrooms. Now there are 3 different types of mushrooms in this soup recipe. You have white mushrooms, which are the most common mushrooms that you'll find at any supermarket. And then you have cremini mushrooms, which are sometimes called baby bellas. And then lastly, end it with some shiitake mushrooms. Give it that deep, rich umami flavor that we definitely want in this soup. So I'm going to go ahead and add those in. And I have the onions and garlic, by the way, sauteing in some olive oil. But you can use butter or any type of cooking fat to saute them in as well. So right now, they're being cooked down with the onions and garlic. I'm trying to get them all incorporated in here the best I can. And this is when you wish that smell-o-vision existed, because the aroma smells so great in here. And hopefully when we get back open, I will get that over to you guys very soon. Get back and running with our cooking demo. So while we're going ahead and sauteing all these mushrooms here, let me tell you guys, for our first comers, first of all, welcome. Glad you were able to join us today. And also for our regulars, welcome as always, and I thank you so much for your continuous support of our program. So a little bit about myself. I am the librarian over at the Lackawanna Public Library. I've been with the Buffalo Erie County Public Library System for about 6 years now, loving every single minute of it. And before I forget, I do want to thank our wonderful director, Miss Jennifer Johnson, for allowing me to do this here and bringing the program over to you guys via satellite, via Facebook Live, because you know of everything we're going through with the coronavirus. And I just want to tell everybody, please practice social distancing, stay safe, and hopefully sooner rather than later we can return to you guys with some amazing programs. All right, so just about getting everything sauteed here. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit to speed up the process, because you can do that. And the good thing about olive oil is, if you need to, you can add a little bit more. So I'm going to do that real quickly, get everything incorporated here, and get that up and going. Now a little bit of background around this oven. This is an electric oven, so it will heat up a lot quicker than a regular gas oven, or gas stovetop, excuse me. So this will be a electric stovetop, which will heat up a lot quicker. And if you hear this sizzle right now, that's where you want it to be. If there's no sizzle, please wait. Sometimes patience is your best tool while cooking. All right. They're starting to saute.
We got Mrs. Klanick watching.
Very nice. Hello, Mrs. Klanick. Thank you for joining us. Got some of these cooked down here. And then this will be a good time to add the seasoning, because you can't have any food without any seasoning. So right here, I have some sea salt. The Wegmans salt grinders, wonderful tool. It's usually to taste, but usually the recipe sometimes calls for like a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half, but usually it's your desired taste. And of course, freshly ground black pepper. There we go. There's that extra there. We can continue with the saute process. Oh, this is looking phenomenal. like I said before, if you can smell the heat, this is where sometimes I wish smell-o-vision actually existed. Deep, rich umami flavor that this is going to bring in the end. And the key is you want to keep it, do apologize for that. Sometimes when we turn our stovetop on, our light seems to flicker. Don't be alarmed, it's how it is. I don't know why, but sometimes periodically it will do that. Keeps things exciting, you know? Alright, so we're looking pretty good here. A few more minutes. Again. Looking mighty fine. Alright. So now I'm going to turn the heat a little bit downward, and we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of flour. This will help us create a roux to make the soup thick. Don't want to add too much, but about 2 tablespoons. If you got a little bit over, that's okay. But 2 tablespoons is where you want to go. So that's 1. And that's 2. A little bit on the stove, but that's okay. Put that aside. You continue to stir. Make sure every single bit is covered. Every single bit. See how it's like becoming a thick paste here and becoming nice and yeah, it's looking great. And next, one ingredient I actually thought I was going to go to the liquor store to get, about 1/4 cup of white wine. It'll give it the nice acidity. So right now for this recipe I'm using Pinot Grigio. Can't tell by the wire, but it is Pinot Grigio, so about 1/4 cup of that. Should be good.
Dad just joined.
And if there's a little bit extra, no need. Oh, look at this. If it gets to be a little bit pasty, that's what you want. Be nice and thick and creamy and delicious. So now, this will be a good spot, just to make sure that everything's incorporated here. This will be a good spot to add in our broth. Now the original recipe does call for vegetable broth, but you basically can use any type of broth that you have in your house. So for this recipe, and what I have here in my pantry, is the Wegmans Organic Free Range Turkey Broth. So it basically is turkey broth or chicken broth. You can use chicken, beef, seafood, and even vegetable, whatever you have. So about 4 cups of that, or the entire thing. The whole thing. And oh, the aromas are smelling so wonderful.
My dad's joined us.
Very nice. Hello, my father-in-law. So, mix that all up. Make sure everything is incorporated. And we're going to turn the heat up a little bit here. Letting this come to a simmer. And we're going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes.
Marie has joined us.
Hello, Marie. And I also want to thank the person filming this demo and making it possible, my wonderful husband, Mark Soderholm. I'll soon forget, so I might as well do it right now. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
And he's the voice that you hear right now, if you haven't guessed. So, this will be a good spot to lay this to rest. And we're going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes here. So, While we're going ahead and let this rest for a bit, and simmer, I am going to tell you a little bit about the program. This program normally meets at the library every third Wednesday of every month. Each month is a new theme and a new book, and I picked about 1, 2, or 3 dishes depending on how ambitious or easy the book is for everybody, and I demo at least one of the dishes on site. So for this month, if I were to choose, the book, it would definitely be this one that I would demo. I bring in a hot plate, or I use the stove here, or if it's something that I don't need to cook anything with, those are the best. I just bring all the ingredients, do a quick little spiel, and go from there. And then at the end, it's the best part. Everybody gets to feast and dine on everything everybody brought. And of course, I'm not gonna lie, it's the best part, because when you get to eat what you make, eating is so wonderful. Food is so wonderful. Food is not only nourishing, satisfying, and absolutely a necessity, but it brings people together, and that is the main reason why I do this program. And I know I've thanked her before. I'm hoping she's watching. Jennifer Johnston, thank you so much for allowing me to do this program for everyone and getting to share my passion and love for food. And of course, my passion and love for books and programs and everything there is to be as a librarian. So thank you guys so much for this. So lastly, when you about like prepping and about like getting all your ingredients together, it's always important to prep everything ahead of time. It'll make the cooking process not only so much easier, but so much quicker. I mean, you could, like me right now, this whole bowl had all the mushrooms in it. I could have taken all the packaged mushrooms from Wegmans and just get you in them, chop, but it would have taken so much more time. And I think this video would probably be over 3 hours long. So I want to get this, as short as possible, and I don't think I'll have enough energy to talk for that long. So you want to make the process easy for yourself. And also, another thing too, you can always pair this soup with other great dishes, like a dish I've done for the demo before, these amazing homemade dinner rolls, courtesy of BuzzFeed Tasty. And this recipe as well is also from BuzzFeed Tasty, which I will include at the end of this video. So this will be available for you guys as long as you need. And also feel free to personal message me on Facebook or anything. Email me, contact Jen for the recipes. I'll be more than happy to get them over to you guys. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and double check on the soup here. We're looking very good. Getting a little bit of color there, which is great. So about 10 more minutes or so for everything. So, and to have it simmered. A couple of staples in our house that I absolutely love. First of all, the amazing condiment of smoked paprika. I have this stuff on everything. And we're going to use this for garnish at the end of the soup, which will be amazing. Secondly, an oil spout. Please consider getting one of these because it'll be so much easier to handle than pouring the whole bottle of olive oil into the pan. This one allows you to control the amount that you need, and it's just fun to do. And then lastly, which will be an instrument that I'm going to be using later throughout the soup, an immersion blender. This was a gift to us for our wedding. And basically what it is, it's basically just a hand blender, but it's the Cuisinart Smart Stick. And we're going to use this to puree the soup and get everything to a nice consistency.
We have some people commenting here.
Very nice. Welcome everybody. And I'll also open it up. Also during our demo, I usually have a question and answer period. And of course, if you have like a cooking story you want to share too, feel free to stay with that. So, what questions do we have?
Well, we got some comments. Mrs. Klinick says, great recipe, Megan. Looks delicious. From Marie, hi, Miss Meg. Looks yummy. Mrs. K also says, I like how you're using ingredients you have in your pantry as well as fresh items.
Yes.
Christine Wolf is watching.
Oh, very nice. Hi, Christine.
Angela is watching.
Hi, Angela. She's our wonderful librarian over at Central, who's amazing. So, Angela, thank you so much.
She says, thank you for bringing us together, Miss Meg. Dennis says, hi, Meg.
Oh, Dennis, we miss you.
Andrea Haxton says,
Andrea, how are you?
Says, yummy, go Megan. You are so sweet and awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Aww.
You're the best. And
Thank you.
my father has a inquiry.
All right.
He wants to know, where did you get the smoked paprika?
Smoked paprika can basically be the. Let me repeat that. Smoked paprika can be found at any supermarket, Wegmans, Tops, Market in the Square, any grocery store. There should be a spice aisle or a spice rack. Personally, this brand is McCormick's Gourmet. This is from their organic line, but I know Wegmans has their own line. McCormick's I know is a very popular one, but it's one of the most common spices that you'll find in almost any supermarket. I mean, there's cayenne if you like a little bit of heat. There's another personal favorite of mine, garlic salt, which was one of the main ingredients for one of my personal favorite recipes, the copycat version of Red Lobster's Cheddar Bay Biscuits. And with that, and then of course, you know, you want to add some ground sea salt and some spice to these babies. Wegmans has a line of salt grinders and shakers too. So these are sea salt and grinders and shakers from Wegmans line. They are whole flakes of sea salt and whole peppercorns. And all you basically do is turn it over and grind it just like a pepper grinder. Gets a little bit of flakes of sea salt on the floor, but that's okay. We can always sweep it up later, that's fine. And so now, if you want to get in closer, this is really getting thick, so it's looking so good right now. So, it's actually at the desired consistency that it needs to be. So right now I'm going to lower it a little bit, so now we can get it focused on flavor. And now for the creamy element, about 1/3 cup of heavy cream. You can also use half and half if you have that too. So about 1/3 cup here, or your desired creaminess. There we go. And mix that up. Look, oh my gosh, look at this. Ooh, this is gonna be good! All right. So I'm going to let those flavors develop. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this baby here. Move this out of the way so we don't break anything. Okay. With any blender or any mixer, a good tip is you always want to start it at the lowest setting. Because if you don't and you start it on high, there's going to be food everywhere, and it's going to leave a beautiful decoration all over your cupboards and walls. Some of you think that's wonderful, but for us at Shea Soder Home, that's not a good thing. So, this is, and also another backstory for this too, this is the first time that I'm using this. So it's not the first time that I've used an immersion blender, but it's the first time that I'm using this particular immersion blender in this particular kitchen. So I'm bringing it out and sharing it for you guys, so you're welcome. So, okay, it's at the right level of consistency. It's on. We're going to switch it over to the low setting. I'm going to put the smack dab in the middle here, and we're just going to press on. All right, why aren't we on? Do we have a faulty plug here? This is why we always try everything out. Don't know if we have a faulty plug. All right. Since we're not really doing much with this immersion blender here, I'm going to do an oldie but goodie. Go on the fly. We're going to go in the actual blender. That I know for sure works. I'll figure that out later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take spout here. Take some of this and pour it in. Perfect. We can leave some in here because it'll be at a good consistency. Put the top on. Plug it in. Again, mixer on, low, and gradually work your way. All right, perfect.
Marie says, way to think on your feet.
Yes. As you can tell, it's not my first rodeo. So I'm going to go pour this beautiful puree in. And guess what? We got soup. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick stir. Oh, babe, zoom in on this. Oh, this is great. Put some extra onion and mushrooms in there. Make sure you got everything. It's okay to have a little bit of chunks of mushrooms in here. That's always good. You want it nice and hearty.
If anybody wants to chime in with questions, more than welcome to shoot them out.
All right. Now, soup ladle. And I'm showing you guys a wonderful bowl set that we got for our wedding as well. Get that in. Get sweater a little bit, that's okay.
My dad says, he'll be right over. Yum.
Yes, and now to garnish, I'm gonna drizzle. I'm gonna put the bowl down because it is getting a little bit hot. I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil. Perfect. Now I'm gonna sprinkle some smoked paprika. And now, my favorite part, my husband likes to call it QCQA, quality control, quality assurance, or basically to taste it. The richness from the cream, the umami flavor from the mushrooms, the deep earthy notes it's getting, and the little bit of smokiness from the smoked paprika makes this a very, very delicious soup. So I will include this recipe along with the recipe for the dinner rolls as well at the end of this video. And if you have like any other questions at all, feel free to personal message me and reach out. I want to thank all of you for joining me right now. And do we have any questions going on?
Vicky just joined us. She says, great job. Can't wait to make it. Thanks for doing this. Be safe. God bless.
Yes. And on that note, not only do I want to thank you for joining me today, but also I want to reach out to every single one of you and say, please stay safe, practice social distancing, and remember, we're in this together. You, me, my husband Mark Soderholm, our wonderful director Jennifer Johnston, the Lackawanna Board of Trustees, everybody, thank you so much for allowing me to bring this to you guys and for coming to see my wonderful home kitchen. And hopefully sooner rather than later, I'll be back at the library for you guys demonstrating a brand new recipe, brand new themes, and brand new wonderful dishes. Remember, we're in all this together, from me to you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you soon.